Hello my friends, so I greet you in the love and in the light of the one infinite creator. And in today's session, I have channeled the Pleiadians in order to query about three things in particular. Basically, I asked the Pleiadians about information which relates to the so-called solar flash. As many of you already know that, there has been a lot of talk about the solar flash, and I wanted to know, like many of you wanted to know, will the solar flash be a gradual process? Because we have been experiencing a lot of like solar CMEs, short bursts throughout for a long period of time, right? And I wanted to know, will the solar flash be a gradual process, or will there be a big flash, solar flash, and then entry into the fourth density? I wanted to know this query because many of you had asked the question, and thank you for sending the emails regarding this question as well. So the other thing that I talked about is about any message or spiritual message for the 11th of August right now, which is known as the supermoon, and I wanted to know if they had any messages to give us. And the funny thing is, they talked about a lot of things in this session. They talk about the layers of the mind. I had never heard about this before. Like they were talking about what kind of layers of mind we have to go through in order to reach our spirit or our soul. And then they also tell us an exercise which we can actually apply in our life to reach our spiritual essence. So in the 11th, they are saying that we can do it at this time, and we have a high chance of reaching our spiritual complex at this time. So I hope you'll understand the lesson and also watch the session. So before the session begins, I want to say a big thank you to all of you for liking the video, as it helps to reach out to more people who need it at this time. So with that being said, here is the session, my friends. Enjoy it.
We, the Pleiadians, communicate now, and we are now communicating for transferring our thoughts to the people of the Earth societal complex for providing information as guidance requested by this instrument today. We must state that our thought forms must be put under the scrutiny by each of the mind, body, and spirit entities in the Earth planet to fully understand the experience of free will distortion in this timeline. We, as the Pleiadians, shall now bring forth the vibrations of the queries which can be sensed in the mind complex of this instrument. This instrument desires to understand the practices for experiencing a higher level of awakening during the so-called supermoon by your people in the timeline of 11th August, which is occurring on your planetary vibration. In this timeline, each entity has the opportunity to train themselves to shift from their third density way of being to that of the fourth density way of being, which can be accomplished via a simple process of penetrating the so-called layers of the mind, as each mind, body, and spirit complex as layers of mind which can be penetrated if they so desire. using a certain exercise which we shall share. After explaining how the layers of the mind occur, the layers of the mind can be simply expressed in the terms of the first layer as known by you people as the conscious mind or the thinking mind, which usually takes up the left side of the brain activity, is the first layer of mind which many entities find themselves in during their waking state. The other portion of the mind is known as the intuition, which is a portion emerging from the experiences of connection, which occurs in the form of inner insights occurring through the vibration of the lower energy centers. This intuition is the primary connection with each entity's higher self and with many other soul guides who provides the experience of suggesting to each mind, body, and spirit complex the suggestions for growth and improvement, for entry into higher levels of reality. This is the intuition which is present within all. The third layer of the mind can be considered as the unconscious self, which is primarily present within the inner realms of the subconscious, which creates the personal unconscious with memories from the present incarnation and all events which have emotional experiences are stored in this level of the mind, which also helps in the formation of emotional memory. The other portion of the mind beneath that, the fourth layer, is the racial mind, which is the part of a certain race in which the entities has incarnated into. This mind creates belief systems and sometimes provides influences to the conscious mind to rationalize certain decisions made in terms of the race of a certain entity. Beneath the layers of such a mind are found the Earth planet's mind, which is the interconnection of all beings who are and have been members of the Earth planetary sphere, creating a web of mind complex of different experiences. Beneath all the layers of the mind activities, this creates the planetary mind, which is, in essence, the mind complex which will be predominant during the time of transition to the fourth density completely. This leads to the other portion of the mind, which is the logos mind, or the, as known by many of you, the archetypal mind, which is a type of mind which primarily works in the framework of providing certain distortions of the basic framework of the workings of the self, which is primarily created by the experiences of the sun logos in this mind. The other mind is known as the galactic mind, or the cosmic mind, which is a culmination of all the minds connected from various other galactic systems. And finally, once the entity is able to penetrate through all these layers of the mind, which is the final layer, which is the soul or the spiritual complex of an entity, this is the connection of the mind of the creator or the spirit's self, which leads to creation and also leads to the basic ability of each entity to choose a lifetime. All the above minds, excluding the spirit complex, are available during the incarnation sequence, and the spirit complex or the creator's mind is available only when all the above layers are penetrated through the process of tuning of the mind complex using various processes such as the focus on an exercise which we shall now provide. This exercise dictates that for the penetration of such a mind is possible during such times as the supermoon on the 11th of August 2022. The penetration of such a mind can occur when the entities in question are capable of becoming aware of every movement they make during their waking daytime. For example, if an entity were to decide to walk with consciousness, every step would require the entity to focus on each step completely, focusing on the movement of each leg, excluding any other intrusion in the mind complex. If this exercise is performed for a period of 10 minutes minimum, would lead to the connection of the spirit complex, which is possible in this timeline. And this is the way of the fourth density, way of being in this timeline. The other query which pertains to the solar flash, will it be a gradual or a sudden entry into the fourth density? We must state that, according to our perception, the solar flash will be sudden when the planet is completely ready to let go of negative energies, as a solar flash with positive energy would lead to the ending of any negative forces or negative energies which may be found upon the Earth planet. And as such, the solar flash, which will be the culmination of entities into the fourth density, positive timeline will only occur when all the beings on the Earth planet are ready to let go of such negativity. There is also, as we can sense, a negative type of solar flash which can be generated by negative entities using the so-called CERN laboratories and other artificial sun systems which are being created upon the planetary sphere. Their purpose is to spread a solar flash with negatively imbued energies which will affect each mind, body and spirit complex in the Earth planet, leading to the creation of a negative distortion or negative solar flash. Furthermore, this instrument desires to understand any moments wherein such a solar flash had occurred. We must state that in the planet known as Maldek, there were many moments wherein, around a period of 750,000 years ago of your current space-time, there was a solar flash which was artificially created because of their technological advancements, which led to the ending of the cycle of third density, that timeline. This is the only time wherein we can sense a negative solar flash being used. The natural solar flash from the sun will be of a positive type because the sun is the logos, and also all the positive beings who reach the vibration of sixth density resides inside the sun body in the form of light beings. Therefore, when the earth is ready, using free will, there will be a solar flash which will suddenly allow the planet to enter the fourth density completely. Will the Pleiadians disconnect now? We leave you, beloveds. Bye.
So my friends, after watching the session, I hope you gained some understanding about what they said in the session. Basically, let me give you a brief summary of what they said in the session. They talked about, like how the 11th August, which is supermoon, is a very important period wherein we have the ability of penetrating to our spiritual self. Okay, now they said, like, we have many layers. There are several layers which they said we have, which we need to, like, penetrate this. They talk about the racial mind, they talk about the logos, the cosmic mind, our conscious mind, everything, okay, in the session. And I hope you understood. It's very detailed, so I mean, it's very hard to remember. I didn't write it down, but they talk about that, okay? And basically what they said is that we can transcend that by following a simple procedure at this time, which is to pay attention to every movement. For example, right now, I'm talking to you. I need to pay attention to, what I'm saying. So my tongue, I can focus on my tongue or my throat, wherein I am using my voice to speak to you. So they said, to focus on what you're doing, okay? So if you're taking an action, you focus on that 100%. And if you are able to do this for just 10 minutes, in this time, you will have a very high chance of reaching into your spirit self and connecting with your true essence, okay? So this is what was covered. They also talk about the solar flash, and they have said that there is a possibility of two types of solar flashes. One is the positive solar flash, which will come from our sun, and they said that it has the ability of having an impact on wiping out all negativity from our planet. So this will be from our sun, so that will be a positive type, okay? Because they said there are beings in the sun, the light beings or the sixth density beings, they reside in the sun, okay, which is amazing, right? And the other thing they said is that there is a negative type of solar flash which may happen in our Earth planet if the CERN, if negative entities, they use CERN and other artificially created sun body. They have said that this was once done in the planet Maldek. So I hope you understand about how the solar flash works and the types of solar flash. This session is actually packed full of information. I hope it helped you to awaken even more, to understand what's going on. And with that being said, I need to say a big thank you to all of you for watching the video, and also I want to say a big thank you to all of you for sending me requests for your soul purpose, your past lives and your soul name on this email, and I will help you out whenever I get free time. And the other thing is, I want to say a big thank you to all of you for supporting me on Patreon, where I upload sessions which may not be allowed to be shared to the people. And with that being said, I will see you in the next session, my friends. Thank you.